Hi there. There's one last thing I wanted to show. On the last recording, on the part two, the audio fell out a lot of the time, it seems. I don't know why. The box is just turning off suddenly. I don't get it. Not that I have done anything to find out what's going on. But what I wanted to show was the ability to add effects to clips and how you can use this with things like you're restoring effects like RX7, like declicking, anything like that. Normally in FL Studio, I would save the, I would drag the, I would consolidate the playlist part, the playlist track, and I would drag it into RX7. In this song, she got a lot of mouth clicking going on in the first verse.
Has been resting for quite some time. Suddenly I'm a boy. They don't know me no more. They don't know me no more. My honesty been driving them crazy. Afraid to face me.
That's a small part. So let's say I heard a few tongue noises. We don't want that. We want it clean so nothing can irritate us when we have our headsets on. So let's go here and just add this event effects to here. Output clicks only. Yeah, nice. Let's then just add these to both. And then render by clicking here. Boom. And it just does the same process as RX7 would do. And I render this too. Boom. We can also restore it at any time by using the restore button if we want to try again.
Has been resting for quite some time. Suddenly I'm a boy. They don't know me no more.
Also, this is great. Also, the first thing you will notice when working in Studio One is that the basic tool is two tools in one tool. And it was kind of hard to wrap my head around when I was used to having to choose between Paint tool and all these other tools in the playlist, like cut and mute, and I had it all on my mouse here to just quickly choose between the different tools. You can change tools here or just use 1, 2, 3, 4, blah, 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 which is better than the CPMT of FL Studio then. If you use the bend tool first, you will be quite, what's it called, confused, because you don't understand what's going on. Why sometimes the program does what you want it to do and sometimes it doesn't. Well, if you hold on, if you have normal or higher height, track height, on the low heights it's just a pointer tool, but if you get normal or higher tracks, they will be split in two when it comes to the tool. So let's say we use then a medium here, so it's easier to see. The zero crossing here is the point where the tool changes. So when you're below it, it is a normal click tool. So if you just hold here and just grab, boom, 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 you grab events and you do normal stuff like moving things around and yeah, just what you expect. Exactly what you expect. Nothing more, nothing less. You just pick up all your things and you just moving it or deleting it, like boom, I deleting this one. When you hold above the line, you suddenly use the tool called range tool. The range tool, you can drag something, boom. You remove part. Let's say you remove it over from here to there, boom. It clears. It doesn't remove the whole event. It just removes exactly what you choose. Um, so let's say I want to use have an effect on a word, or I want to remove something here. I can just range tool this part, click here, boom, and now I've already made unique for FL Studio users. It's just done. And now this is a separate effect. Now it's a separate event which I can add a delay to or drag to another mixer track or whatever. So it's really quick to also remove, let's say, instead of finding the end of a clip like this and dragging it or splitting it by double clicking up here, you split anything like boom, boom. So you can just split it by double clicking here if you want to split it by word or whatever. Uh, but let's say right here, I want to remove one word or whatever. I could just do this, I said. Or if I want to take it from the end, I could drag it here. Or I can just boom. Another thing is the fact that using the multi-tool does not only change between those two. It actually, if you got two events overlapping like this, it actually depends, as you see there. It's, of course, because there's a crossfade, it changes the crossfade. What's it called? The curvature. And then if you remove it all the way down, you move the crossfade point. If you remove it all the way up, you move the top clip, the clip to the left, I mean. And if you move it to the bottom here, you move. And wait a second. There. You move the right clip. So you see it changes, and then on the bottom, boom, it's both. And a few more tools also have different, depending on where you hold, it changes its function, which is at first like, oh shit, I want to have control of what I'm doing. But when you get into it, it takes like 3 days I used before it was like, wow, this is effective. Because I almost never choose another tool unless I'm doing something very specific, like if I want to draw a LFO automation. That's when I choose the sine wave here, for example, when I'm drawing an automation, doing like this. Other than that, the cut tool, useless. The delete tool, kind of useless too, because you just click delete. Mute tool, I have it on the, you see there's a blue line under it, so it's here you can choose a secondary tool by clicking control. So now I got the mute tool in case I want to mute something just anytime. Also, you could use this tool for that. This is the listen tool. That's exactly the same as in FL Studio. The bend tool is new. I think I talked about it in part 1. It's great. But yeah, usually I just keep it on this tool. And I use the link arrow here. It links those two tools. And suddenly I can reach for almost any tool I need just by clicking control. So if I click here, I got the bend tool. You can cycle through which one you want. But normally the delete tool, you just do this. You don't need to delete. Boom. If you want to delete something, delete a lot. Boom. Delete everything. The cut tool not needed, because if you just point here, double click, it's cutting. So you can do everything without changing tools, without doing much work like that. Also, I think the audio dropped out when I was showing the Melodyne integration. You just click anytime, at any point in time, you can just open a Melodyne instance. It's even included in when you buy Studio One or Sphere, which is a annual payment service thing, like subscription for the program, to always have the newest update. I always like to have the newest updates, because when something new comes along, which I've been waiting for, I don't want to pay extra for it. And also, yeah, free updates is only FL Studio, which is one of the greatest things about it. That's why it's so great for amateur work, or if you don't earn money on music and you don't need, what should I say, anything reliable. Because FL Studio just over son, you just get so much value. Like people who bought it in 2006, even before me, when I still used the crack demo version in 2006, think how much value they got. So many updates all the way until now, 2020, 2021 actually. But yeah, you can add Melodyne and change it, and it just happens real time if you want to. Other things, yeah, I think the volume went out on the automation part. It's here. I have a few automation things going on. Oh, this was layers. Here. I boost send levels to reverb and delay, and I change the volume continually. Because something I do, I usually listen to the song and then use this fader port right here, and I write the faders on different parts. Like in the chorus here. See, it's the curve doesn't look like it's moving, but it actually, if you zoom in, it does a lot. Because here, I duck it at first. And I push the vibrato in the end forward. And here too. And I'm backing it off. Now you can draw this manually, but it's so easy to use the touch. If you click here, the touch, the automation writing feature thing, the touch automation mode. Because if you record automation in FL Studio, it's recorded into event. You can use the event editor, or because it's saved as event changes or whatever. And it's not saved automatically as automation clips, as in this instance. And also, if you touch a parameter, it's recording. Well, if you click the record button and have automation set on the recording button, you right-click the recording button and you choose automation, it will continually check the position of your controller. So it will know, like it will all. Sometimes you get these problems where you want to record some automation, but you don't want to record it before a certain point. Here it's super easy. With the touch function, you check this out. Just watch. Now this fader is the what's it called? Is the volume of this channel, because it's set to track and all, so it shows all. Now if I play the song, and touch is not related to record. You don't have to click record to record automation. Automation is recording is this button. If it's on read, it doesn't record. Now it's recording. But if I don't touch anything, nothing happens. But let's say I want to write it again. Let's say I wanted to do that. Now that wasn't as smooth. You can also do it with a mouse. But the thing is here, let's say I just want to change a small thing. When I touch it, and when I release it, it continues as it was. Yeah, and if you use the mouse too, you could write it here. Release it, nothing happens. It continues as it was. And this way of recording automation, I felt, because I actually went to the forums of FL Studio, I think it's a few years ago actually, and recommended them to be able to record automation into automation clips. Do something about the automation recording process, because it's quite messy to work with the automation in FL Studio. Also, sometimes, let's say you release your sustain pedal and suddenly everything after that is sustained and you can't find where the command to turn it on was set. Here it's a lot easier because every line of automation goes from the start to end. And you have a lot of settings to choose, like, does the automation follow the events? Layers follow events, you have it here. And uh, now I don't remember. I think it's in the settings menu where I chose that automation should follow events. Yeah, actually think it's in the settings menu here on the advanced automation. Automation follows events. Yeah, it's here. You can turn it off, but I like to have it on. So if I move this recording, boom, the automation moves with it on every line that's associated with it. So let's say you don't want that, you could turn it off. But I find it just great because every time I copy this chorus, I get the same sort of automation. So it's very easy to automate. You see here, I've automated this volume, and there's a few parameters on the beat where I automated lots of small things, frequency of bands, and also the stereo image, lots of things. Also, buses show up in the bottom here. Bus, FX, stereo back. If you got automation on those, they show here. And it's so easy. It's quite easy to draw it too, but it's very easy to record automation in Studio One. So if you want to do lots of automation and bring your mix to life, it's just great for doing that. So now we talked about automation again, and the tool, the main tool, which might put you off in the start, but don't stop using it. When you get used to it, you just work a lot faster. Cutting things, like choosing a cut tool, like why did I do that for so many years, to click C to cut things when it's just boom boom? And when you're used to it, it's just so quick. Um, yeah, and event effects. The times of choosing make unique, and also the last thing, purge audio, purge unused audio in FL Studio is about, if you click tools and you choose macros and you choose purge unused audio clips, you can purge. Actually, just show. You can remove clips from the project. Here we have it. You can remove the clips from the project. Somebody asked how I got it like this. I just chose extra large here. If you can see here. But yeah, if I go to the screen here, tools, macros, as said, remove all edits and instances. Purge unused audio clip. That removes all unused audio clips from the session, but it doesn't delete them from your drive. So often, let's say you do a few recordings and then you scrap the whole thing. You close FL Studio and you're like, yeah, I was just messing around. I was just recording a cover of Baby by Justin Bieber. Let's say you did that. When you're done and you close FL Studio, all those recordings, you need to find them manually. They're called untitled. Like if I go to recorded folder here, they're called untitled. Tons and tons of untitled mic inputs. And also, if you just record straight in, you got insert one untitled. It's a lot of clips, and you don't know which one is which. Yeah, you can see the data on them, but who wants to go through that? You know, in Studio One, there's actually one feature I really like when it comes to recorded materials. And that is, whenever I close a new project, let's say I made a new song. This is my preset right here. And let's say I did a recording. Bam, bam, bam. Now, when I close this song and be like, no, fuck this song. No, I don't want to save it. Do you want to delete the files that were recorded and created since the last time you saved? Yes, please. I don't want to keep that shit. Now, if I would have recorded in FL Studio, mm, I would have needed to find those files manually and delete them because when they first created, even if you delete the channels or whatever, you can't get rid of them. You can also here go to the pool and see all samples used in this song. It's the same as the FL Studio equivalent called what is it called? Project files? Recent files? No, current project. Here it is. So if I add, let's say, what's going on? Why did the FL Studio crash? Thanks. Nice. That's great. Probably because of the asio driver thing. But let's go to current project. You got patterns and generators, remote control. So let's just add a sample. There. You really had to go into patterns? I didn't know. Is that something new? Oh, here it is too. Okay. Never mind. But here you can find the sample, and if you want to, you can open this in smart find it is for expand, insert, you can't even do that. You must do it from here. No, you can't even do it from there. Okay, you need to manually go to recorded here, because this folder you can at least open with the open button to actually find your recordings. I actually forgot that it was this hard to get rid of things again. But this file though is a sample from a pack, so it's not a recording. But let's try to make a recording. Even though I can't record anything, I can still try to see if something happens. Okay. Yeah, we recorded nothing. Great. Delete. Selected channel is about to be deleted. No undo. It's the channel being deleted. This one. And every time I cut this mother. And oh shit. My mouse is not configured for FL Studio anymore. Shit. So let's say I now make this into a unique sample. And I add another one. Now I suddenly got two files on the computer. Okay. Another point. Which I didn't know I needed, which I didn't know I wanted, yeah. Every time you make a project in Studio One, it creates a folder for that project, and all recordings happen to land inside of that folder. Everything about that song happens to be in that folder. So here, only way to delete these is basically let's go to generators again. See, can't even get to them here. So the only way to actually find them is to go to recorded and actually open this folder and then go through the whole process of finding Untitled 2021. You could just go date. And it takes forever. There you go. Here's the recordings. And suddenly all these types of recordings takes up all your hard drive. Or your solid state drive. So yeah, same with sliced audio, rendered, everything. You need to find the files to get rid of them. So here I got two now. In Studio One, as said earlier, if we use this song right here as an example, if I want to locate this file, the 808 base file, not locate, show in Explorer, of course. And here's all these files, which are stems of the beat. And here you see the song, you see the mix downs I've done earlier, you see history, auto saves, you see different kind of cache, audio and images, boom, cache files, bounces. Every time I've bounced the track, it turns up here, and different media. Everything is different things that just are recorded and everything for the song is right here. So let's say it's a song you want to delete, you don't want it anymore. You can just delete a song, and then get rid of all the files associated with the song, which is very great for preserving space or even sending the song to somebody who uses. Let's say you get the same plugins, somebody uses all waves and you use all waves, and you send the song to somebody, and you can just send this folder, pack it in a zip file. It's the same as using the FL Studio export to zip file, but it's, I would say, even more extensive because they can even go back in your history and see the changes you've done recently to it. Yeah. So that's a great thing. And also, if you record something and you regret it, you can just leave. And here you can actually, if you see this here, delete file permanently. You can delete any file from here or convert them into other formats if you want to. So this is a pool. The pool is for seeing whatever files are in your project at any moment. So you can see not used. These files are not used. And that means I can just click all of these and delete files permanently. You don't need to keep things you don't use in a project. Compared to the Purge unused in FL Studio, this actually removes it from the drive, so you don't need to clog up your small laptop with all sorts of recordings. So you see the main verse, all the files used for all the different tracks. Even Melodyne records on Melodyne bounces. And yeah, if this does not interest you, you can even see the waveform. That's another thing. I talked about the I just come up with new things all the time. I came up with this. If you open a song, let's say we find let's say we open just this song, just to keep it clear. Here. If you have, I need a beat actually. This will take some time. I shouldn't waste my time on this. But if I go here, okay, Studio One folder. Here are all the songs that I haven't chosen to give a folder, and I've saved tons of stuff I actually don't need, and I didn't give them a name where I should give them a name. But these are what's it called? Sketches. With information that I didn't want to delete. So if you go fat, super dark piano, and I go to tracks, see, I got the piano here. If I choose to add this piano here, it opens the instrument, and also it adds this one. That's dark and nice. So here you got it. And also, if I want to, let's say you make something like this, and you really want it to be like, oh shit, next time, so let's say you make a project and you feel like, okay, this shit was crap, but this piano though, it might be used later. So you drag it into here, and you just, oh, I'm gonna put it in the media folder because why not? Now it's exporting it as an audio loop or music loop. So here you got the noir music loop. The interesting thing about a music loop is, yeah, I now remove this. Let's say I'm opening another project now. You got the noir music loop. If I open this here, first let me show you a feature. You can actually listen to the music loop, what it sounds like at the BPM of the song you're working with. And if that isn't great, I don't know. So now you can even, here's the normal speed. But by clicking this one, you time it to the project you have open. And you can choose volume of it to hear it louder or weaker. And then if I drag this one in, it's the same as loading the track. You load it with the effects on the mixer. If you see here, I didn't have any effects on it. But let's say it was effects on. It loads that. It loads the instrument. It loads the MIDI. That's so every time, let's say you're making beats, and every time you do something cool, like you have a cool melody, cool whatever, but the beat itself sucks, and you're like, or let's say you're just playing the piano and you come up with a cool part, and you're like, okay, now I gotta do real work, but I want to keep this for later. Just drag it in any folder, like I just did here, and you can find it later by going through your loops. So yeah. Now I've covered a lot more than I was going to cover. And I'll just say I'm done. Now I'm actually done. 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 See you later. Bye.